Hey, Grayson Carter here, and in this video we're going to be covering how to write a high converting Facebook ad. So let's just jump right in and get started. Okay, so here's the ad template that we're going to be using to write your program launch Facebook ad. And you're going to have a link to this, so you're going to be able to download this and modify it for your own use. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk through how the ad's structured, some of the pieces that you need to be looking out for. And then I'm also going to be showing you a real example of an ad that we used that got a ton of responses and how to create your own ad to get a great response and have a ton of people reaching out. So if you've already done your homework, and I hope you have, back in week 1, the Market Hot Buttons worksheet, you're going to want to pull that out, because if you've done that work and already gone through and have all those Market Hot Buttons, the hell, heaven, hooks, and hurdles, writing this ad is going to be much, much easier. So if you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend just pause this video, go back to week 1, do that Market Hot Buttons exercise and get that filled out. Because once we have that in hand, it's going to be much easier to create this ad, and it's going to be much more effective if we've spent some time putting together a great list of all those different pieces, the hell, the heaven, the hooks, and the hurdles for our individual clients. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this, and I'll walk you through what this looks like. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to call out we're going to call out where we're going to be marketing to. So this should be a specific area. If the area that you live in has its own name, go ahead and use that, because the ad's only going to be showing to a specific demographic, typically around about 20 mile radius around where you live. So we're going to be very tightly targeted, and so it's going to be focused to people in our local area. So attention, Orange County, we're looking for 10 motivated women to participate in and this is where you fill in the name of your program, starting January 1st, 2017, or whenever this is going to start. So let's say 2018. If you are, and this is where we're going to start filling in what are the present pains that they're experiencing that they want to get away from. So that would be their hell island. If you are struggling with unexplained weight gain, add a couple more symptoms of hell island, this may be the most important help you get all year. With the program in hand, this is, again, you just fill in the name of your program here. Get one-on-one help and accountability from you can say registered dietitian. If you have a specific credential that's focused on the group that you're helping, like if you're a sports nutritionist or sports dietitian, whatever that is, who's helped hundreds of women, again, this is where we want to reiterate, escape from hell and their vision of Heaven Island. So basically, we want to be creating that gap between where they are now, which is their hell, to where they want to go. Learn how to, again, fill in their Heaven Island, and then we're going to say, and make a big promise. So one of the things that I say in some of my marketing is you're going to learn how to have a proven sales script that gets people to convert on the very first call. That's their heaven, and maybe even start to enjoy the sales process. So we can make a big promise if we say maybe even, because if I just came out and said, I'm going to help you enjoy the sales process, well, that might be a little overreaching. I'm not sure anybody, or a small percentage of people, actually really, really love doing sales. For the most part, people just do it because they have to. So we can make a big promise and just kind of soften it by saying maybe even before that, and it's still going to be true. Get a customized meal plan that's specifically tailored to you, your body, and your favorite food, so you'll never be confused about what to eat or when to eat it. There really isn't anything to customize here. If you like this, you can use it. If not, feel free to modify it to your particular liking. Discover, and then thing they want, and then whatever their Heaven Island is, without. And then this is where we can bring up things that they hate about the other options that are available. So if you're doing like a weight loss program and a lot of your clients are, say, they've done Weight Watchers, so they hate counting points, they hate eating all this processed foods, or whatever it is that particular diet is providing, then we can bring that up, that they're able to get essentially the outcome that they want without having to do the things that they hate about other programs. Get the 4-step plan too, and then we want to talk about the benefits, and here's where we can address the hurdle of why they don't think that they're able to accomplish this right now. Plus lots more. If you're interested in making 2018 the time you accomplish the time you accomplish thing they want, and would like to apply for the 12-week program, enter your email in the comments below and we'll send you the details on how to apply. So we're doing this. We want them to comment in the comment section below. However, I realize that some of the programs that you're going to be running may be sensitive, have sensitive personal information, and they may not want to post these things publicly. So we give them another option. Or if you don't want to enter your email, PM me directly and I'll shoot you a link to the application. Ideally, we want people commenting in the comments because I'll talk about this a little more later. Facebook loves engagement. And so if people are constantly posting in the comment section, Facebook sees that as a really good thing, and they're going to show your ad more often and for a cheaper amount if it's getting a lot of engagement. So if people are commenting instead of reaching out to you directly, that's actually better. So we want to encourage that if people are willing to do it. We haven't set in stone the final pricing yet, but it will likely be much cheaper than what's currently costing you to deal with this problem right now. So if you remember from the sales script, a lot of what we're discovering is if people are currently suffering with these major life problems and those problems are spilling over into other areas of their life, it's probably costing them quite a bit to be dealing with this between medications, missed work, other programs that they're trying that aren't effective. So likely working with you for a few $1,000s is going to be cheaper than the other problems or than what's costing them to try to deal with this problem in another way. This may not be a good fit if you're not coachable, can't or don't want to invest in making a long-term change, or just looking for a quick fix or magic pill. But if you're open to, and again, we want to reiterate the benefits of working with us. So this is their heaven island. What is it they want to accomplish? This may be a great fit for you. This offer is first come, first served, and is being sent out to our entire email list. So if you want to secure your spot in line, you need to act now. Even if you have a tiny email list, like even literally you could put one person on your email list and this is still going to be true. It doesn't matter if you have a small list, even if you only have a couple of people on there, you're going to be sending it out to your entire list. We don't have to say how many people that is. Enter your email in the comments to secure your spot in line. So we're just reiterating what we want them to do to your success, and then we're going to sign off. Now, in a later video, I'm going to show you how to create this create this image and how to put that together. But this is the ad copy that we're going to be using. And now let's hop over. I'm going to show you a live example of an ad that we used that got a great response. So this is somebody in the group. This is Catherine, and she works with helps moms that are breastfeeding and having trouble with that. And so we put together this ad, and it got a ton of responses. So I'm just going to read this to you and kind of explain some of the pieces that we put in here. So we're calling out the demographic. Are you a breastfeeding mom in the Tri-Cities area? So to me, she lives in Washington, so I'm not sure what Tri-Cities means, but to her demographic, like that's very relevant. So that's fine. You can use vernacular that only people in your area are going to know because this was only being shown to people in the Tri-Cities area. We're currently looking to help 10 new moms in our Breastfeeding Confidently program starting October 1st, 2017. If you're a mom with a newborn baby and struggling with low milk supply, painful feeds, and have a baby that has trouble latching, so these are all symptoms of Hell Island. This is all the problems they're dealing with. So this is Hell Island. Have a baby that has trouble latching or simply not gaining enough weight. This may be the most important help you get this year. So if you have all these present pains, this may be the most important help you get this year. Here's what you'll be getting. One-on-one help from a certified lactation counselor and registered dietitian that has zero judgment and has struggled with all of these same issues herself in the past. So one of the pain points that we heard existed out in the marketplace from doing research was that people just felt like there was a ton of judgment around this. People that new moms felt like if they breastfed and their baby wasn't gaining enough weight, that there was other people shaming them if they used formula. It was almost like no matter what they did, there was going to be some demographic of people that was judging them or telling them that they were doing things wrong. So we wanted to make sure that we highlighted that look, there's zero judgment in how we work together. So don't worry about that. And we're making her relatable by saying, and has struggled with all these same issues herself in the past. So if you have a great story that ties in, like if you've struggled with the same issues that you're helping to solve, mention that. I mean, it's great that people want to know that you can relate to them. Now, I ended up crossing this out. We had a link in here originally that said you can read more of my story here on my website. I don't recommend having a link in your ad because we don't want to do anything that's going to distract them from doing the main thing we want, which is putting their email in the comments. So I would take this out if we had to do it again. So that's why it's crossed out. Learn how to have a pain-free breastfeeding and maybe even start enjoying feeding time and experience a sweet bond with your baby. So what they want is their Heaven Island is to have a pain-free breastfeeding. That's like their vision of Heaven Island. Now, a lot of these moms have been struggling and have had a really bad experience, and it's been really painful and a lot of complications. And so if we just came out and said, and you're going to start enjoying feeding time with your baby, that's a pretty big leap. Like if they've been struggling for a long time, they probably can't even picture what that would look like. So we don't want to have this grandiose promise if it doesn't sound believable. So that's why we soften a little and say, and maybe even start enjoying feeding time and experience a sweet bond with your baby. Next, discover how to exclusively breastfeed and avoid formula, which is their Heaven Island. They would like to avoid formula, or I should say that this is another hook, like another way to feed their baby is using formula. But most of the moms that she's working with didn't want to use formula. So we're saying we can discover how to exclusively breastfeed and avoid formula if you want to, even if you don't think you're producing enough milk. So a lot of these moms thought that I have to use formula because I'm not producing enough milk. But if that's not the case, we want to say, hey, you don't have to do this, even if you think that you're not going to be able to do it. You'll be getting someone who's willing to come to your home or do a video consult, including during those middle of the night hours when most needed. This is about your comfort and helping you. So a lot of these moms needed help. They didn't feel like there was anybody to help them at the time that they needed it, especially like in the middle of the night. They didn't have anybody to call. So having something like this is their vision of Heaven Island, of having somebody as a resource in the middle of the night if they needed it. You'll have a proven plan to breastfeed for as short or as long as you want, and be able to smoothly wean or pump regardless of if you want to return to work or stay at home with the baby. So, proven plan. They get to decide how short or long they breastfeed. So, we're not trying to dictate. Their vision of Heaven Island is getting to do what fits best for them and their baby. And they can either wean or pump regardless of if they want to return to work or stay at home with the baby. So a lot of times they feel like I either can't return to work or I want to return to work, but I'm not going to be able to wean properly. So there's a lot of complications there. So we want to say, hey, you can do either, or we're going to help you do either, regardless of these other hurdles that you think exist. Plus lots more. This is an evidence-based approach with scientific backing, but without judgment or cliche answers. So this was something that came up over and over again in our research of people saying this doesn't seem evidence-based, this in our research of other options that existed out in the marketplace. A lot of the books, a lot of the programs, even the professional advice didn't seem like it was evidence-based. It was all very anecdotal, like one-off examples. And people hated that. They were able to pick up on it, and they were really turned off by it. So we want to make sure that we address that front and center and said, this is evidence-based with scientific backing. And again, people hated the judgment and the cliche answers. So we just called it out for what it was. This is about finding the best plan that works for you and your baby. So now we're going to swing it back to what's the pain that they're escaping from? What's the hell island that they're trying to get away from? If you're ready to stop the helpless 2 a.m. tears and frustration of feeding time and find how you and your baby can have a peaceful breastfeeding experience. So we went from Hell Island, 2 a.m. tears and frustration, to Heaven Island, a peaceful breastfeeding experience. Enter your email in the comments below and we'll send you the details on how to apply. Or if you don't want to enter your email, PM me directly and I'll shoot you a link to the application. So again, we're reiterating what the benefits are. Our Heaven Island. So if you'd like help increasing your milk supply, consistently latching and pain-free nursing, or weaning without tears and without any judgment or feeling pushed, this may be a good fit for you. This is a first come, first serve. This offer is first come, first serve, and is being sent out to our entire email list. So if you want to secure your spot in line, enter your email below. So we're just reiterating what it is they need to do to apply. And I don't remember exactly what the budget was for the ad. I want to say eventually, or all in all, it was maybe like $200 or $300. I don't know the exact number, but you can see here 15 shares and it had 39 comments, which is pretty great because this is one of the first attempts that we made at this. So that is what our ad looks like. So I recommend that if you pull out your Market Hot Buttons worksheet and start plugging in these different aspects or these different fields, the ad's just going to start to come together and really write itself. So pull out that Market Hot Buttons worksheet, start filling out the ad, and in the next video, we're going to be talking about how to fine tune it and really get the most out of the ad to not only get a great conversion rate, but to be compliant with Facebook's policies. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching.